High-speed rail has long been a symbol of modern transportation and technological advancement in many countries around the world. It promises efficient, eco-friendly, and rapid travel between major cities, reducing congestion on highways and the environmental impact of air travel. However, the United States has lagged behind in the development of high-speed rail systems, despite its immense size, population density in certain regions, and the potential benefits it could bring. This episode delves into the complex reasons why America doesn't have a comprehensive high-speed rail network. Infrastructure challenges. One of the primary obstacles to implementing high-speed rail in the United States is the vastness of the country and the state of its existing rail infrastructure. Unlike countries in Europe and Asia, the U.S. lacks the dense, well-connected rail networks that are necessary for high-speed trains to operate effectively. Many existing railroads are not equipped for high-speed travel and would require significant upgrades or replacement. Additionally, acquiring the necessary land and right-of-way for new high-speed rail routes can be a lengthy and costly process. Opposition from property owners, environmental concerns, and regulatory hurdles often slow down or block new rail projects. Funding and budget constraints. High-speed rail projects require substantial financial investments. While the United States has the resources to fund such projects, it often faces budget constraints and political gridlock. Federal and state governments are typically responsible for funding rail infrastructure, and securing the necessary funds can be challenging. The American political landscape often prioritizes short-term, visible projects over long-term infrastructure investments. This focus on immediate benefits can hinder the allocation of funds for high-speed rail, which offers long-term economic, environmental, and transportation advantages. Lack of political consensus. High-speed rail projects involve collaboration between federal, state, and local governments, as well as private sector partners. The lack of a unified vision and political consensus has hindered progress on these projects. Different political parties and stakeholders may have conflicting views on the necessity, feasibility, and funding of high-speed rail. Political shifts and changes in leadership can also disrupt the continuity of high-speed rail projects. Without consistent support and a shared vision for high-speed rail, projects can experience delays and cancellations. Competition from other modes of transportation. The United States has a well-developed and heavily relied upon road network, as well as a robust airline industry. These modes of transportation are deeply ingrained in American culture and offer significant competition to high-speed rail. Americans often prefer the convenience of personal vehicles and the speed of air travel, making it challenging for high-speed rail to establish itself as a viable alternative. To compete effectively, high-speed rail would need to offer compelling advantages such as faster travel times, lower costs, and reduced environmental impact. Convincing Americans to change their travel habits is no small feat. Regional fragmentation high-speed rail projects are often designed to connect major cities and regions, but the United States has a fragmented transportation system with different regions pursuing their own priorities. While some regions, like the Northeast Corridor, have made progress in developing high-speed rail, others have been slower to embrace the concept. This regional fragmentation can create challenges in coordinating efforts and securing the necessary political and financial support for a nationwide high-speed rail network. It also means that the benefits of high-speed rail are not evenly distributed across the country. Regulatory challenges, regulatory hurdles, including safety standards, environmental impact assessments, and land use regulations, can slow down or derail high-speed rail projects. The United States has stringent safety regulations for rail travel, which is essential for passenger safety but can also increase project costs and timelines. Environmental concerns, such as the impact on wildlife and ecosystems, can also lead to legal challenges and delays. Balancing the need for environmental protection with the development of high-speed rail is a complex issue that requires careful consideration. Private sector involvement. High-speed rail projects often require partnerships with the private sector for funding, construction, and operation. However, private sector involvement can be challenging to secure, as investors may be wary of the risks and uncertainties associated with such projects. Additionally, the long-term nature of high-speed rail projects means that returns on investment may not be realized for many years. High-speed rail has the potential to revolutionize transportation